Puck is swirled around. Messier has it for Fort Wayne. Eglin regains for Atlanta, throws it in the slot. Corey Spring got a piece of it. Brian Straub lost it to the check of Alan Eglin. Eglin working the right wing boards. Bumped on the play by Stas. Centers it, and Spring unable to get much of that. It's cleared out through center. Chased by the rookie Oleg Yashin. 7th in rookie scoring in the IHL, and out comes Atlanta. Warenka dished for Quenneville, puck loose, and is picked up by McBain. Across for Yashin. Fort Wayne moving it left to right and driving it in. Wilkinson pins it behind the net. That's Rivers on it. Just underway, 1 minute into the opening period. Dan Kamal with Dave Starman. Rivers again will start it out from Atlanta. The outlet pass for Davidson. Shovels for Peterson. Hits the brakes, rolls it in the middle. It eludes Julia. Rivers' shot was deflected by McBain, and that's giving up your body as a veteran making a very courageous play as the puck skips by Blair Scott, but Wilkinson will be able to play it away from Willett. And the Knights will start it out from deep in their own end as Rivers is dumped. And a penalty coming up here on Darren Smith for tripping. Tripping the call at 1:40.
Once again, the Knights get the early jump in this game as they get a couple of chances quick when Peterson came in, did a delay and threw it to the point. We'll get a chance to take a look once again at what happened with Darren Smith and Sean Rivers, and Rivers milked that one pretty well. Smith tapped him on the skates, and Rivers went for a dive, and I mean, that's a good job by Rivers. You know, if you can draw one, you can draw one, and there's been a lot of debate about that. A big article in the Hockey News recently about that, and you saw that as coaches are talking about how much they hate watching players draw penalties, yet they seem to not mind it when it happens.
Yeah, I think that was a legitimate call. Rivers with the breakout and had the skates pulled out. So the Knights are on the power play, 15% now. That's 15th in the league, and that's a climb upward for Atlanta, who have been struggling for quite some time on the power play, and still at 15%. You would say probably still struggling, but playing much better. Knights were in, but it's dished right back out on good defensive work by Sergei Stas. The Knights on the power play, having trouble bottled up in their own zone as Plavsic had trouble with the forecheck of Rob Murphy. Now Plavsic pivots away from Murphy and leads the rush out right to left. Dump in wide of blue. Straub is back and he clears all the way down, and the Knights power play will be half done by the time the Knights can regroup here as Plavsic picks it up from Wilkinson, then shovels back for Warenka. Good forecheck, good pressure penalty killing here by Fort Wayne. The steal, the shot just wide off the stick of Messier. Julia trying to work it out. He's got Plavsic, and the Knights have an odd man rush. Peterson is in. Drop pass. Plavsic moves in for the shot. He scores! Adrian Plavsic power play goal, and the Knights are on the board 1-0.
Adrian Plavsic has just found an opening to jump into the play more. It seems that every time he gets paired with Sean Rivers, everybody gets so preoccupied with Rivers. Plavsic has found so much space in the last 5 games. It's unbelievable. We'll take a look as Plavsic headed the play up. He gave it to Peterson, then he rejoined. Quick pull the string in front of the net and fires it home. Plavsic just follows deep into the play. He looked like Brian Leach as he came from behind after starting his own rush. Peterson, for the second time this game, you saw him pull up and delay and find Plavsic again. Those two working well together.
And a penalty called during a power play situation, so Fort Wayne will have to serve the additional minor here as Jeff Rolacek was going to... I don't know if you noticed, but the penalty was called. The referee trailing the play, and Rolacek goes at 2:51. The Knights are on 1-0.
He really undressed Chris Talk in front of the net. You saw when Talk moved out to face Plavsic. Plavsic like he was going to go wide, and Talk thought he was going to shoot and went down early. Plavsic walked around him.
So back-to-back power plays for the Knights. It was hooking on Rolacek. And the Knights, Brent Peterson over skates in the right offensive circle, and the puck is cleared out to center ice. For Adrian Plavsic, his first goal of the season for the Knights. 16 assists. And the puck sent down, set up by Derek Wilkinson.
Dan, of every team in the league, looking at their last 5 games, the Knights are 4th overall in the IHL over the last 5 games on the power play.
Rivers dumps it in. Right point, LaPuma kept it alive. And it's cleared back out through center ice. The Knights have 50 seconds left on the advantage as Rivers picks it up and starts it out right to left. Sean Rivers. Part of the reason for the Knights' improved power play, giving the Knights a lot more mobility on the back line, along with Darcy Warenka and Blair Scott, recently acquired from Chicago. Good forecheck job by Steve Fletcher. The ex-Comet is out there. Now Quenneville, left circle, shot right on, saved by Blue. Fletcher's dumped in front on a big hit by Talk. Knights have to regroup at center. Still time, and Quenneville's there, but that's offside, and that's going to bring the draw back to the neutral zone with 15:29 left here in the opening period. The Knights on top 1-0.
Chad Quenneville left Providence College, the 8th scorer all time, and really provides a lot of spark. And Adrian Plavsic, like we mentioned, really gets a lot more room now, being paired with a mobile offensive guy like a Sean Rivers or Darcy Warenka.
Plavsic has really emerged since the trade. Very much playing within his talents, and those talents are shining.
Would you say he has been most affected by this deal?
Yeah, I'd say very much so. Very much so. He is really, his standard of play has been raised very, very dramatically. He was just asked to do a little too much, I think, or put it upon himself to do a little too much prior to the trade, as the Knights are guilty of an offside again. And we'll be back after this timeout. 1-0 Knights, Atlanta Knights hockey.
I've driven a truck all my life. I love the way a big rig feels in my hands. But when I won Lotto Georgia, my wife said, "Vernon, get yourself a Corvette." My brother-in-law said, "Get a Viper." And my nephew said I should get a Ferrari Testarossa.
Just pick 6 numbers from 1 to 46 and then watch to see if you've won millions.
Of course, that's all behind me now.
I'd have to say Larry's my best friend. The guy is a maniac for sports. He loves to play football. That's his sport, and he's the boss.
And he'll never, ever leave a game early.
Is this the Arctic Bowl?
He's rolling out the tarp with him. Larry!
But all my life, Larry's always done me big favors.
Mike, Diane, Mike.
Very big favors.
Yes. Cheers, buddy.
When you're with a friend as good as Larry, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
1-0 Knights. Let's take it downstairs. Greg Masters is hanging around. Greg?
Yeah. Hang on a minute, Dan. Thank you. I got great seats here, Dan. Everybody down here is excited, except I can't see a darn thing. Everybody down here, you're enjoying the game, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see a darn thing. The guy in front of me, I don't know. Hey, down in front. Well, I'm trying to watch the game here. Down in... Dan, back to you, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't get too close to him, especially if he turns around and breathes your way.
Hate it when that happens.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Greg. 1-0 Atlanta. Face-off coming right at the red line between Toms and Willett.
I think we can get Greg some better seats.
Yeah.
You'd think so, right?
I wonder if he asked about that popcorn before he just dove in there. Kind of pushy, which is unusual for a media guy. Right point shot by Warenka. Deflects to the corner. Tom's digging. Rob Murphy's there. Knights lead by a goal, and Fort Wayne will come out. Brian Straub, the ex-Knight. Now right wing Shafronov, the hot one. Swung wide by Warenka. Good work there. Shafronov is absolutely a fire here. 6 goals in his last 2. Third leading rookie scorer in the IHL. Pivoting, moving in front. The backhander wide by Evans. And Atlanta will try to come out. Good job by Evans to break up that pass to Campo. Puck is at center for Murphy. Lost it to Savage. Savage trying to work it in. Stood up on the play by Evans, and the puck is dished right back down. Touched up by Wilkinson. That negates the icing. And the Knights will start it out. 13:50 to go in the first. Knights up 1-0. And Rivers slides it ahead. Peterson couldn't step it out. Darren Smith kept it in. Now Peterson is bumped. Sean Rivers there to collect and send it along for Davidson. He of the 7-point night, breaking a franchise record Wednesday. Rivers now in. Plays it back. It rolls to Davidson. Looking for Peterson. He had him all alone. That pass just missed. 3-on-2 rush. Quickly Davidson back in the play. Drop pass. Willett shot up and over. And out. And play whistle down.
Dan, on the last goal, when Plavsic came up the ice and he sent Peterson wide, you're going to get a chance to see Peterson coming down this way. And when he goes wide, he drops it back to Plavsic right here. And Plavsic, as he walks in on Talk, you see how Talk went down? And now Plavsic's got the path to the net. If the winger can come down and aim towards the boards, he opens up the seam on the rush, especially in a penalty kill where it's a 5-on-4, and a smart play by Plavsic to recognize.
It seemed open up like mine on Thanksgiving Day. Face off to the right of Wilkinson. Davidson will take the draw for the Knights. He's between Peterson and Drulia.
Remember, Peterson on the big line with Ruff injured. Ruff having the bad back, the sore wrist, got hit the other night. Second time Peterson's been in this role this season.
And the puck is shoveled along by Workman. Down low, Rolacek battles. Scott is there for the Knights, and it's frozen for the whistle with 13:07 to go here in the first period. Knights leading at 1-0. Time to look at the Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold Plus Minus update for you, as we look at Chris LaPuma now in the lead for the team at +13. Lee Davidson, Christian Campo next, and then Stan Drulia at a +5. One of the plus-minus leaders all year, Bob Helkitis. Congratulations, back up in the NHL.
Read my mind. I was about to say Bobby Helkitis being picked up by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Chris LaPuma had his best night offensively of the season on Wednesday. A goal, 2 assists, and a +3. Sean Rivers lost it down low. That's Yashin. Back out high, Talk. Shot never got through. It's picked up by Drulia. Up the left side and in. Drulia drops it. Rivers shoots it wide. And Wortman rolls it back. Drulia picked it up. Left point. It's Rivers the shot. Saved by Blue. Rebound. Lifted up and over. Watch out. Wow. And we'll be back. Play is stopped. 12:36 to go in the first. 1-0 Knights. This is Atlanta Knights hockey.
2 years ago, we did this demonstration to show how the Nissan Altima runs so smoothly, it can pass the same test as the $40,000 Lexus LS400. But perhaps you're wondering, what happens to an Altima after its owner has driven it over 100,000 miles? We're pleased to say, not very much. Now lease the Altima GXE for just $199 a month for 36 months with $1,500 down.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
It's 1-0 Knights. We'll have minor penalties on Davidson and Talk.
Sean Rivers just jumped into the play as the fourth man. We're going to get a chance to take a look at this rush. And when we do, watch Rivers, who's back in the background. Drulia's coming up. He's going to come in. He's got a man coming to the net. That was Peterson. Davidson's going to come across here, but everybody's picked up. But now, watch Rivers coming in late. Here he goes, and that's what John Parrish Jr. wants. And Rivers is going to get a shot towards the net. Dan, what that fourth man does really creates a lot of offense stepping in.
Back to the live action. Evans chases, LaPuma chases, and the puck is loose back to Eglund. Now in turn it goes to Quenneville. Eglund again. Quenneville in the slot, but he was checked on the play by Evans. Laporte pinches and throws it across. LaPuma dumps it along. Eglund back along right side. Laporte is shot wide of the net, and LaPuma on it again. Looking for Eglund off his leg. And the puck cleared out to center. Back in. Evans will take charge for Fort Wayne. Pass ahead would have been 2 lines, so the Knights regain, and LaPuma has it for Eglin. Knights 1-0.
You saw that pass, though, by Evans. Remember we talked about what a good playmaker he is? Shafranov was coming towards it. Evans just tried to lead him towards the puck, but Shafranov couldn't get there quick enough, and that's what makes Sean Evans so dangerous.
The home run pass, too far for the veteran Elenick. Wilkinson out of the net, had trouble with Elenick. Now Wilkinson trying to
Wilkinson's back checking.
to the boards, and the Knights do break it out. Toms is in, nice move. Has Savage, Toms backhander wide. Blue got a piece of it. He tried to stuff it home, but Blue got a piece of that as well. Couple of near misses there for Jeff Toms, and Toms is on it again. For Stan Drolia, turning back, dropping for Plavsic. Plavsic had a little trouble handling, but then dishes in with 10:50 to go in the first, and the Knights up 1-0. Both teams down the man for the next 10 seconds. As Brian Straub outlets to Andrew McBain. Drop pass Willett. Wrister kicked out by Wilkinson. Out comes Atlanta, both teams skating full. Peterson, left side shot and a save. Rebound pinballs to the right corner. And then Davidson is cross-checked from behind. There's Talk, and a big shot from the top of the slot by Julia, who took the hit from Dupuis. And what a hit Talk put on Davidson, driving him into the boards. Exactly the kind of hit they're trying to legislate out of this game.
It's funny, Colin Shin actually got hit that way of Fort Wayne in Chicago. Went wrist first into the boards.
Let's take a look at all the records that were set by the Knights on Wednesday. Lee Davidson, Stan Drolia, Jason Ruff, 27 points in 4 games together. They are really flying high in that span. Davidson with 10 points, Drolia 9, and Ruff with 8. Davidson had 7 points the other night. That broke a single game franchise record. Knights on the power play again as Talk goes for cross-checking at 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Davidson, Drolia, and Peterson out with Plavsic and Warenka. The Knights have outshot Fort Wayne unofficially 6-1. Komets win the draw, and the puck is dished all the way down by Evans. Plavsic has it for the Knights. He has the game's only goal. Adrian Plavsic ahead, it goes to Peterson. Up the middle, right to left, Peterson in. Pivoting, out high Warenka. That's Plavsic. Back to Warenka, the drive, and a save by Blue. Plavsic rebound. Plays it for Drolia. Plavsic again had trouble at the left point. And the puck is out to center ice. Good hard penalty kill with physical work by the Komets. As Warenka wristing it in again. This is going to be an icing called on Atlanta. Warenka had not gained the red line, and icing will bring it back the other way.
As you mentioned, Dan, very accurately, Adrian Plavsic with the tying of the franchise record, 4 assists in a game. John Parrish Jr., when I was talking with him earlier in the week, has talked about how he loves the defenseman jumping in. He is real happy with Plavsic. He thinks Plavsic's been the best defenseman he's had for the past 4 games.
John Parrish discussing it with Lee Davidson across the way. Knights lead by a goal, 1-0, 1:12 left on the penalty to Chris Talk.
What do you think he was saying there?
Be patient. Win those draws, and I'll be a happy coach.
I was waiting for a little accent, too.
Toms. Can't do JPJ.
He's a
Savage. Now it's Christian Campo lifting it in.
Seems like every team, though, has a guy that can imitate the coach. Doesn't it? Every team you're always with seems to have a good beat on the coach.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Who's it on the Knight squad, though? I haven't heard.
I don't know.
Doing real well. 1-0 Atlanta. Knights still on the power play. Rivers winding it up through the middle. Now looking for Savage. He lost it, and Toms regains it at center. Dropping it back, but he split the D, and the Knights have to regroup back deep in their own zone.
Toms threw it back, and he had a chance to throw it ahead, and teams have found more success quick upping the puck and going to get it than regrouping. Interested to see if the Knights do more of that.
Knights forecheck Campo, and Savage are there. Evans back for Fort Wayne. Savage along the boards for Rivers. He has Toms in the left circle. Back out high it goes to Scott, to Rivers. Toms. looking for an open man. Stepping in, he shoots, he hit the post. He hit the post, stick side. Toms again. Throws it across. Scott. Nice power play over. Wrist shot. Save. Rebound. Blue ties it up and holds for the faceoff. We'll be back. 1-0 Knights. This is Atlanta Knights hockey.
Listen up. This is important.
There is nothing my husband loves more than sports. And boy, does he work up an appetite.
Let me tell you, I get hungry. That's why new Stouffer's Hearty Portions is a good idea.
It's hearty. It's big portion.
2 pieces of chicken and all those mashed potatoes.
Stouffer's Salisbury steak. It tastes like homemade. It's a great value.
New Stouffer's Hearty Portions. It's the right size for me.
Stouffer's, nothing comes closer to home.
They don't play kick the can like you used to. They don't dress the same way. They learned to read 3 years before you did. They've never owned a record. So why are you taking pictures of them with the same old film? Try new Fuji Color Super G Plus film. Because your pictures should be nostalgic. Your film shouldn't.
Next home game for the Atlanta Knights is Wednesday, 7:30 start against the Houston Aeros. You can charge tickets at Ticketmaster, 404-249-6400. Wednesday night, the Aeros and the Atlanta Knights.
And that should be a good contest. The Knights and Aeros have had some wild games this year. 2-0 shutout by Atlanta in Houston. And then after that, the Knights had a lead in the third period. Houston came back, and they played here. Same thing. Knights with a third period lead. Houston came back and won.
1-0 Knights. Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta. Glad to have you along in the Omni as Chris LaPuma throws it towards the net, but it's dished back out and flipped along by Shafranov. Loose at center for Corey Spring, and that's a hand pass called on Atlanta. Steve Fletcher is out there. Steve Fletcher, the longtime Fort Wayne Komet, and now back with the, not back, but with the Atlanta Knights, back against his old team. And he's a big guy and a physical presence out there with the missing Brand Myers. That's what the Knights need.
Early on in the season, it seemed like Fletcher got invited back to camp, and nobody was really sure if he was going to make the team, though Fort Wayne seemed to think that he wasn't. And he came back, and they put him into spots to see what he can do. And one game, they were hoping he was going to get more involved. They actually wound up scoring 2 goals for him. That was against Kansas City, and then later on, he started to come apart just a little bit.
Dupuis has it for Fort Wayne off the face-off. Now Julia regains for the Knights. In, pulls the trigger. Blocked by Evans. Throws it in front as Julia, but Guy Dupuis is there for Fort Wayne. Komets come out left to right. 1-0 Knights. First period action. Pass behind Murphy. Sends it behind the net now, and Elenick has it on loan from Ottawa. Elenick, now Murphy. Now Dupuis fakes the shot and rolls it along right wing side. Shafranov tries to roll it in front, couldn't do it. Warenka tapped it along. Evans kept it in, his shot blocked. And Julia will gain control in his own zone. Ahead it goes. Warenka's in for the Knights. Left side over skates, but it's played by Davidson to Julia. Loose in the slot, swept away by Evans. Kept in by Davidson. Guy Dupuis back on it for the Komets. Ahead to Elenick. Now Shafranov. Shafranov in. Drop pass. Willett the drive. Never reached the net. Davidson clears it back through. And back on it is Jeff Rolacek for the Komets. He is run over by Corey Spring. And the Knights back the other way. Eglin is shot wide. And was Sergei Stas. I started to say Stas. It was Stas and not Rolacek. 33 and not 32. And what a hit by Spring.
Spring had a fight the other night. He fought Wes McCauley on Wednesday night and held his own. And he needs to finish checks. He needs to be aggressive to stay in this lineup. He's done a nice job with the scoring aspect, and we're going to get a chance. Stas comes up, and here comes Spring. Boom. But right before Stas got hit, did you see how quickly he threw the puck, Dan? Second look at what? Gives away the puck. Oh, God, I don't want to get hit with it. And he threw it up. So he takes the hit to make the play, but he bailed out early.
Eglin Rolls the draw long, deep in the zone, but Stas is there.
You're going to find very few players who are going to stand in there and try to make a good pass when they're about to get nailed. It's a great way to force guys to give the puck up. Finishing checks.
Spring with another hit, and Fletcher has the puck. Smith misses the hit on Fletcher across the way. Blue tries to outlet. Puck is kept in. Fletcher shot one wide. One thing about Fletcher, may not be the prettiest goal scorer in the world, but he can sure shoot the puck as the Knights buzz in front. Spring was knocked down. LaPuma will take the drive. He scores! Chris LaPuma, somehow through that maze of humanity, finds an open spot. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
This is unbelievable. Chris LaPuma with 2 goals in 2 games. Who would have imagined? And it's just by getting the puck on net. LaPuma stepped in, saw a screen all over. He knew he just had to get it on net and something was going to happen. And boy, did he crank it up. The smile on Chris LaPuma's face tells it all. When it came back to the point, he wants to scramble in front. Spring battling hard. Everybody working, and here comes LaPuma. Boom! And with Corey Spring in front of the net, LaPuma just let it fly. Fort Wayne does a terrible job here controlling the puck in front of the net. And with Eglin and Spring and Fletcher in front, Chris LaPuma hits the water bottle. It's 2-0.
Back to live action, and Messier had it roll off his stick to Blair Scott. Now Sean Rivers, Jeff Toms, and up it goes to Campo, who's in for the wrister. Steered aside. Puck cleared out to center ice. Rivers there. 2-0 Knights. Toms is in. Right circle. Little flip shot saved by Blue. And he'll hold on with 5:25 left here in the opening period. Chris LaPuma, 4 points in his last 2 games.
Yeah, he had a goal and 2 assists the other night, and we were joking about Chris LaPuma because Tyler Moss had 4 minutes of penalties the other night. You remember we joked, when was the last time you saw the goaltender have more penalty minutes than Chris LaPuma? But he's done a phenomenal job of keeping his temper this year. He has been great in his own zone. He has jumped into the play. He has played the role that they have asked him. He's got a lot more pressure off him now with the addition of the new defenseman.
Yeah, he really does. Playing very, very solidly all season long. And again, with the new defenseman, he can play his game even more within his assets.
I think he's having more fun now at this point of the season than he did earlier, even when he was playing well.
Puck is cleared through, and Warenka spins, lost it. Shafronov down low. Murphy back in front, but a good job by Davidson. What a great little back-checking job there as he broke up Elenick's attempt. Back comes Peterson. Backhand shot and a save by Blue. Puck is outletted. Elenick in. Right wing throws it across, but look at Plavsic get back in a hurry. Willett trying to move in, but Julia stole it from him. Knights sent it out right to left. Knocked down by Dupuis. Elenick rolls it along. And the puck is battled for along our near side. And loose to Warenka. Now Plavsic starting it back for Atlanta. It's been a very solid period for the Knights. Plavsic in. Rolls it along right side. Top. Chris Top for the Komets, lifting it ahead. And Kevin Wortman is on it for Fort Wayne. In. Drops it across. Cleared out by Fletcher. This should be an icing call. As the Knights with a big edge on shots, 11-1, and we will take a timeout. Just under 4 left in the first, 2-0 Atlanta. This is Atlanta Knights hockey.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master.
I recommend it and use it.
The secret to shapely thighs is exercising these muscles with just the right resistance. This balanced resistance coil is designed to give you results quickly and comfortably. Want to tone your upper chest and arms? Thigh Master will give you excellent results. Thigh Master, we may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
To order your Thighmaster, call 1-800-533-1400. Have your credit card ready. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.50 for shipping and handling to this address. No CODs, please. If you're not fully satisfied, return it in 30 days for your money back. Plus, if you call right now, we'll also send you Suzanne's Slender for Life plan absolutely free. So call now for quick delivery.
Welcome back to Atlanta Knights hockey. It's a great game, 2-0. Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta is giving it all they can tonight. And coming up at the first intermission, of course, highlights and stats, and we'll also give you a chance to buy Atlanta Knights merchandise. Now back up to Dan and Dave. You didn't know I was working with Chris LaPuma, did you? I've been helping him with his goals and stuff.
Yeah, I could tell that. I could tell by the way he was skating tonight.
I also taught him how to fall. You'll probably see that later.
Yeah, okay.
You saw Greg working extra with LaPuma on the ice this morning?
Yeah.
Notice that?
Well, Greg is teaching obviously through words and not through action. But hey, stand by for Greg though in the first intermission. Great little skit we have going for you. Great little piece, and you can buy some Knights merchandise. Knights are in, and Jeff Toms threw it in front. Reggie Savage collided with John Blue. Both are okay, and out comes Ford Wayne.
What a shock that is, huh? Reggie Savage running into a goaltender.
Puck sent the other way, and Wilkinson ties it up. And then a little bump to the back of the helmet by Elenick on Wilkinson.
Two observations.
Payback, I think.
Oh, that's for sure. Two observations here. One is the Knights, or rather the Komets, don't seem to mind Derek Wilkinson handling the puck. They're dumping it at him and making him play it. Second of all, the Knights are not afraid of attacking the offensive zone at all. Pat Elenick came here after a good career in the NHL. He was in Washington, Tampa Bay, Winnipeg. Put up some good numbers in the National Hockey League. A former first-round draft choice by the Jets.
Back in '86. Willett takes the draw for Fort Wayne. It's Davidson out there for Atlanta taking the big defensive zone draw. Knights work it along, but not out. Willett. Dug out by LaPuma. Now Toms. And the puck is cleared ahead for Savage. Knights change up fully, but the Komets turn it back. Willett drops it off for Brian Straw. He sends it in, but Rivers is right there to collect for the Knights and play it for Blair Scott. His pass too far for Toms. Campo played it along. Now Jeff Toms again. Knights lead 2-0. Under 3 to go here in the first. Puck worked around and out to center.
You know what Fort Wayne is starting to do now is they're starting to do those little infuriating things that are right on the borderline of being legal and illegal. And what that tends to do is frustrate opponents, and it could draw a penalty. Fort Wayne, if they can get a little power play going here, can start to steal some momentum. So watch for all those little things that they're doing.
Rivers, left wing side, shot it along. Now Julia with the wrap-around attempt. Lost. Rebound. Is it in? No. Blue able to smother it just shy of the goal line as Peterson. And the backhand attempt. Also there was Davidson. Another close chance for Atlanta.
John Blue makes it. Oh, sorry, Dan. John Blue with a really good save. Watch the back of the net. As the puck comes out in front, it's going to roll towards the back of the net here. There it is. And you can see pretty cleanly that it did not go over the goal line. It rolls quick. Blue with the quick reaction. And boy, Brent Peterson, think he's a little upset?
You won't get too much closer.
Peterson with his first pro goal against Fort Wayne last week.
Play on, and Guy Dupuis has it for Fort Wayne. The outlet pass stolen. It was Quenville, or Davidson rather, lifting it back in for Atlanta. And Evans has it for Fort Wayne. Warenka for the Knights. Bounces one in, and Evans is back again for the Komets. Circles. Starts it ahead, Elenick. Right wing side. Throws it in front. Saved by Wilkinson. That's only the third shot on goal for Fort Wayne. Davidson back the other way for the Knights. For Julia. Taps it along. Back on it is Dupuis for Fort Wayne and clears out neutral zone. We're down to a minute and a half left in the first. Steve Fletcher for the Komets. Battles with Evans. Dupuis is there. Puck loose. Picked up by Corey Spring. He'll play it for Plavsic. Sent along, and Dupuis again. Rolling it. Eglin chases. Spring chases. And the puck is rolled up by Chris Talk, and out comes Fort Wayne. Yashin trying to find Messier at the line, not able to, and Puma lifts it along. Out comes Atlanta. Corey Spring, odd man rush, wrist shot saved by Blue, and he'll hold on to the rebound. Bobbled it for a moment, but then was able to smother with 53 seconds left in the period.
I like it, Dan. We're going to get a chance on the TV side to see the last rush. Third time, the Knights have had a 2-on-1. Third time, they got the shot off Spring. He had no chance to get the pass across. Proper stick positioning by the defenseman facing the net. Rivers really was eliminated from the play, and you see the follow-up as Spring goes hard to the net. And like we talked about, we've talked about that on the air. You get an odd man rush, and you have a shot, by all means, take it. Make the goalie make a save, and 3 times we've done it. There are your officials.
Sam Gowan will drop the puck. He's out there with Greg Kimberly, the referee. Mark Kadori is the other linesman. Toms will take the draw, right offensive circle. The Knights up 2-0. The Knights have held Fort Wayne to 3 shots unofficially, although right now on the clock, as our graphic accurately depicts the clock, it's 15-2. John Blue out at center. Willis rolls it along. McBain is in for Fort Wayne. In front, shot right on, and a save by Wilkinson as he beat Smith on that shot, and Droya was pulled down, and Stan Droya is hurt with 25 seconds left in this period. Is he high-sticked? Is it? First of all, let me make sure it's
Christian Campo.
Droya, it is Campo, you're right. From our angle, looks like 20, but now from that angle, obviously looks like 28.
Right here at the end of the period, we get a chance once again to get another angle of this as Rapuma made a nice play on his own side of the ice to close the gap and limit a scoring chance, and then a collision on the boards, and you saw behind the play, Campo just gets it right up high, inadvertently off the stick of Rivers, and Campo sent flying.
High stick by his own man. It was Campo, obviously, with 25 seconds to go.
Did he get penalized for that, or?
No, he certainly don't get dinner after the game.
Watch for the next practice.
Davidson will take the defensive zone draw, but it's won by Murphy. Now, puck is picked up by Evans, pitching from the right side. Fort Wayne would love to collect a late one here. It's some momentum going into the second period. Murphy back out to Pui. Shot through traffic and a save by Wilkinson. He smothers. And with 6 seconds left in the period, another defensive zone draw for the Atlanta Knights.
Let's see if Lee Davidson winds up taking this one again. Davidson had a great night the other night on face-offs. In his own zone, he won 7 of 10 during the game. The Knights have allowed 4 shots here in the first period. That ties a season low for them. A blast from the point, just wide open. Keep it simple, and get it on net. It's good play.
Again, the draw, Davidson for the Knights. This time Willett for the Komets, and it's Plavsic who will wind down the clock as the Knights, with a very strong period, lead it 2-0 after 1. And we will come back to the Omni after this break. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta. Masters has an injury update date for us, Greg.
Hey, Dan, listen, I talked to the Knights, and they said that both Reggie Savage and Christian Campo were fine. They pulled him off, looked at him. No stitches even for Campo, so that's good news for the Atlanta Knights.
Greg, thank you very much. Didn't even notice that Reggie, I guess that collision with Blue may have caused a bit of a problem.
For the 1996 IHL All-Star Game.
Christian Campo, plus or even in his last 19 games, he's been a very quiet star for the Knights.
He sure has. It just seems that game in and game out, he comes to play.
Evans walking in, center shot, and a score. Shafronov, who's been on fire, makes it 7 goals in 3 games. He snuck it through, and the rookie with another one for the Komets.
It's interesting because right after the goal, Sean Evans pointed to the bench, which leads me to believe that they really talked about getting one early. Shafronov just seems to be around the net all the time, and he gets a pass out from behind the goal. It's one of the toughest plays for a goalie to make. Sean Evans gives him a quick pass, and Shafranov, left-handed shot on the left side of the net, hits the short side. That's his 7th goal in his last 3 games, 14th of the year. And early in the game, Dan, the stand-up, we talked about Sean Evans, best playmaker in the IHL. He showed it right there.
What a pretty pass and a pretty play by Evans. It's 2-1 now. Atlanta leads, cut to 1. You may want to stick around. I think we've got a good one going tonight as Evans dishes it all the way down the ice. It misses the crease, so this will be an icing call. It's a pretty good rivalry these two teams have going. And this game is helping to solidify that. Hey, Best Buy is having a great deal for you Knights fans that participate in Best Buy stores. Just check the special Atlanta Knights CD display and find out how you can win free tickets to an Atlanta Knights game. No purchase necessary.
On the last goal, Evans goes wide, jumps in from the point. Nobody was able to get it. Rowanka's stick got tied up with Pat Ellenuk in front, or he probably would have gone after Evans. Just didn't get a chance as he got caught up in the equipment of Pat Ellenuk in front.
That was a good angle we got to see on the replay here in the booth, and it was the short side and a thread the needle type shot by Shafranov before he snuck it in. Fletcher works the forecheck for the Knights. Puck rolls to Spring. And the Komets are able to step it back out. Yashin sending it in. Blair Scott is back for Atlanta. Puck loose. Messier for Yashin. Weaving his way. Sandwiched. Still on the puck. He shoots and a save. Rebound. What a stop by Wilkinson. On Rolacek. Rolacek a backhander and a save by Wilkinson. It is all Komets, but Derek Wilkinson just made the double save of the night in that sequence.
Wilkinson stays with the puck. It's unbelievable concentration. Scott steps up, tries to break off the play, but they get the first shot, and then Rolacek comes in, and Wilkinson makes the smart play, covers the low ice, forces him to go upstairs. Derek tried to recover, and he couldn't, but the shot that came in, the second shot, was in his range. The first shot, once again, he gets the glove down low. Messier can't do it. Rolacek shot Wilkinson on his bum, and he's able to catch it with the catch glove because he got up in the middle of the net. When you saw him get up, he took up as much room as he could, knowing he wasn't going to have a chance.
Penalty on Blair Scott. Wow, the Komets have come out firing here in this second period. Scott for holding at 131, and the Knights are able to clear it all the way down.
We said at the end of the first period, the Knights, or rather the Komets, need to get a little power play time to get some momentum in this game.
Well, they have momentum, and now they have some power play time. Shafranov in alone, he shoots and he scores! As he deked Derek Wilkinson, make it 8 goals in 3 games for Shafranov. We're tied 2-2.
All right, beat him like a rented mule. He walked right in. Wilkinson didn't look like he wasn't even there. Shafranov came in, and did he do a super job at freezing the goaltender? This pass, it happened so slowly, and all of a sudden he walks through Rivers, quick pass over, and he fooled Wilkinson. Derek thought that he was going backhand, and when Shafranov came in, he looked like he was going to go back, and he kept the puck out in front of his body to freeze the goalie, and then the quick hands as they get through a third look as Murphy dropped it off. Shafranov, oh, did he pull Wilkinson to the glove side of the net and slip it around him.
This kid came into the game with the best shooting percentage, second best shooting percentage in the IHL at 28.3. I would venture to say he might be on top right now. Mike Bobak had the lead at 28.6, I believe.
Early in the season, Dan, Shafranov was having a lot of trouble finishing. He was missing open nets, hitting goaltenders in the pads, and just wasn't getting it done, but he spent much more time around the net lately and is finishing at an unbelievable rate.
Knights are in, and on it is Campo for Toms. Pivoting, looking, and Savage shot one wide. Puck behind, Savage couldn't get through traffic to get it, and Darren Smith Carries it out for Fort Wayne. We are all of a sudden tied at 2.
What they did right there, that line for Atlanta, they cycled the puck down low. Campo down to Toms, and Savage had started it, and then Savage came up around the top of the crease and waited from behind the net for the pass out and got the shot up. It's called cycling because you're working in a circular motion inside and around the circle, down low. You just keep dropping it down, and hopefully somebody's going to jump in on the other team in the wrong spot, and you're going to get open in front, and that's what Savage did. Jeff Toms got him the puck, and Savage walked in and got the shot off just wide, but it worked perfectly. They've been doing a lot of that in practice.
We're about 2.5 minutes into the second period, and already the Fort Wayne Komets have turned a 2-0 deficit into the 2-2 tie that we have now. The Knights, ironically, have enjoyed their most success in the second period of games this year. That's been their strongest period of the 3, but not so far tonight. Warenka turning back in his own zone. Ahead, Davidson feathers one along, but right there is Talk. His pass blocked off by Peterson, sending Drury in. Keep in mind the Knights are missing Jason Ruff, and the steal here by Willett at center. Well, the Knights regroup in a hurry. Willett crisscrossing with McBain. Willett is in deep. Comes back out high, right circle. Pivoting at the point, then throw it into the corner. And on it is Lee Davidson, lifting it out neutral zone. Stan Julia, but that's a 2-line pass. And we'll be back. It's tied at 2. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
My wife's an outstanding dentist. She said, you have to try Mentadent toothpaste.
Mentadent has the ingredients dentists recommend most for the care of teeth and gums.
I had tried baking soda toothpaste and immediately dismissed it. But this was different. My wife says it has fluoride, baking soda, and peroxide. It was like a shot of fresh air. There are these tiny bubbles that get between the teeth. It's a clean, fresh, minty feeling.
Mentadent with fluoride, baking soda, and peroxide. Accepted by the American Dental Association.
When you're congested, it's like your nose takes over. You can't breathe. You can't sleep. You need Afrin. Afrin works fast because while the leading cold tablet travels throughout your system, Afrin goes right to the problem, right to your nose. That's why Afrin, the nasal spray most recommended by doctors and pharmacists, works 4 times faster than the leading cold tablet and relieves congestion in less than 5 minutes. Afrin, because you shouldn't have to wait to breathe.
Welcome back to Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta, everybody. You know, you come to the Omni, it sounds like there's every popular group in the world. They got orchestras and bands and all of that. Where does that happen? It happens right here. It's all on computer. This guy does it. What's your name?
Jeremy Cooper.
Jeremy, you can do sound effects and music and everything here, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you $1.50 for it right now.
No.
All right, Dan, I'm trying. Back to you.
Hey, you start low, you want to buy low, Greg. I like your style. All right, it's 2-2.
That was Gary Kane who trained Jeremy on how to do that. Gary Kane used to run the show here in terms of the music. Gary's now moved up and is now a local DJ in town. No, like to be.
I didn't know that. It's tied 2-2 here. We're in the second period, 16:51 to go. Dan Kamal, Dave Starman, and you just saw Greg Masters downstairs roaming around having a good old time while we work hard up here. On it is Rivers, now to Scott. Scott ahead to Corey Spring, and out comes Atlanta. Spring's pass too far. Blue will play it along. He had Quenville rushing in. But the Komets come right back out as Messier plays it right side. Out high, Stas a shot, and a blocker save, and he holds, does Derek Wilkinson.
Chad Quenville trying to get to the point as quickly as he can, has the fast feet, trying to close up on Sergei Stas, and wasn't able to get the stick in the right position to slow down Stas in taking the shot, but Derek Wilkinson was able to see it as a defense, do a real good job down low at cleaning it out. And we talked a little bit earlier about Chad Quenville. You can see it with John Parrish Jr. on the bench, and John is the type of coach where he likes to grab a player immediately, get their attention right after something has happened, to let them know about it quickly. It's a great part of coaching because you have the players' attention on the benches. It's a great place to teach.
Scott sends it for Peterson. Knights trying to break it out. Good forecheck job by the Komets, and Yashin digs it out, spins. Jumping in was McBain, playing it for Rolacek. Puck shoveled along. Yashin out high. Stas. Wrister wide. A lot of muscle on that wrist shot by Stas. Now Yashin's shot tipped up over the net and off the glass. And boy, the Knights are on their collective heels right now. A tripping call coming up here, I believe, on Atlanta's Brent Peterson.
Yeah, right in front of the net. I think it was Rolacek who he got at the middle of your screen. Yeah, Rolacek tried to fight through, and Peterson got in his way, took him down. Fort Wayne, all the momentum right now, and now they go back on the power play. And Fort Wayne's power play didn't do too badly the other night. 3 for 6. The Knights were 4 for 7. John Parrish Jr. has a big award coming to him in his hometown of Windsor, Nova Scotia. The Hockey Heritage Society Hall of Fame will induct John, a native of Windsor, Nova Scotia, into their Society Hall of Fame. It's a great honor for him in his hometown, and we congratulate him.
Puck is swept away out to the neutral zone. We're tied at 2. The Komets are 1 for 1 on the power play. This is their second try. Shifranov hits the brakes. Now Wortman. Eleanor circles. And the puck dished along by Shifranov, but ricochets back. He's on it again. To Eleanor. A shot wide of the net. Bounces out. Evans threw it in the middle. It was deflected away by Davidson. And Komets keep it alive. Shifranov. Now Evans in front. He had Murphy all alone, but he threw it behind him. Knights try to clear. Can't do it. Puck sent back down low. Murphy finds Eleanor left boards. Komets on the attack. Eleanor holding.
Too passive. They're too passive here.
That was to Wortman, rather. Down low. Puck back out high to Evans. Threw it in front. Picked up and rolled around by Rivers, but not out. Murphy from Wortman. Back to Wortman. The one-timer hit the side of the net. Blair Scott is on it. And he lifts it along, but not out. Now it's finally cleared by Atlanta.
A little too much time to set up. You remember Wednesday night, Fort Wayne likes to bring it to one side and quickly bring it back the other way, trying to get the box to open up a little bit with guys running around. But if you're too passive, then you're allowing time and space for setups and shots.
Puck is drilled into the zone by Talk and kept in right side to play, but a good job by Toms, and he nearly sent Savage away. Chris Talk getting back in a hurry. Talk originally a Pittsburgh draftee in 1991. Now Messier, right circle shot. Looking for Rolacek at the side of the net. Blavzik stepping in. Puck ricochets now to Savage. And out comes Atlanta. 8 seconds left on the Comet power play. Savage is in. Trying to move it around. He moves to the right side and then he's drilled. Lost his helmet and Savage is hurt.
They got kneed in the head by Messier by accident.
And the Knights touch up back in their own zone, and Reggie Savage may be wondering what day this is right now. He really got clocked.
See, Messier is going back to the net. I think when Savage charged the net, Messier was on his way in towards it. When Reggie fell down, I think Messier's knee might have got him. Savage goes wide like he likes to do and does so well. When he goes to the net, he comes in a little off balance. He tries to get it low on Blue. You see him fall, and there's Messier who accidentally got him. I think his neck twisted possibly the wrong way. Just an accidental thing. Good play by Chris Talk to drive Reggie a little wider. And oh boy, you see Messier really came in. He got him just above the knee. And Blue got tied up. Messier came in, and that's certainly an inadvertent play by Mitch Messier, who's had his share of injuries and has missed some time. Messier's had a problem with his knee.
You think it was inadvertent? I think he drove his shoulder right into his head.
I don't think so. And I just don't think it's something Mitch Messier would do.
I think he could have pulled up easily. 2-2. We're back after this time out on Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
Hey guys, what do they call this? Bud? Ice? It's ice brewed. No, it's a bottle looks like ice. The bottle does look like ice. It's ice brewed, just a bedhead. The bottle is Jake, and it looks like ice. Ice brewed. Jake!
Hey, you guys! Take it outside.
Okay, Coach.
Bud Ice, the official beer of the Hanson brothers.
Stupid machine took my quarter.
Places, fun jet vacations. No matter where you're going, we're the best way there. Fun jet's the best value anywhere. We've got the fun. We've got the fun. Fun jet vacation. Fun jet vacation.
Well, amazingly, Reggie Savage is okay. We're going to take one more look at this as he was hit very, very awkwardly.
And it's a good view because it's at full speed. He goes wide, nailed by Messier, and don't worry about it, John Savage up in Saint-Hubert, Quebec. Your son is just fine.
Well, unless you're Linda Blair, human neck is not meant to bend that significantly, I don't think. Puck is thrown behind the Atlanta goal line. Rolacek is there, centers it, and in for the shot was Messier. He has the puck, throws it back in front. These teams are at full strength, but Fort Wayne with a territorial edge right now. Eglin bouncing it in. John Blue has some trouble handling. And why did the whistle blow?
Referee lost sight of the puck as he came and he was on the far side of the ice. He probably just assumed that Blue had it. Hey, see, look, he knows. He knows he made a mistake. It's okay, though. You're a young kid, you can make a mistake like that. That's fine. Eglin chips it in, and it comes in on Blue, but it bounces up on him. And as Blue goes to cover it, Chad Quenneville, give him a lot of credit. He charged in as quickly as he could to pry that thing free. And the referee just, that just happens. That's kind of nice to make a mistake and not get hammered on it, huh?
Yeah. Greg Kimberly is the referee tonight. Sam Gowan and Mark Adoria, the linesman. You're not that forgiving with me.
No, that's not true. Well, depends what you... If you blow the whistle too quickly, I'll take it easy on you.
All right. Eglin, forechecks. Quenneville is there. Eglin trying to get back to it.
But breaking curfew, that's another
story. Hey, never. And a penalty coming up here. I believe the Komets going to be called for a hold as the Knights with their first sustained forecheck of the second period. Taking a look at the Joseph A. Banks standings in the IHL. In the Central Division, the Knights are in fourth behind Cleveland, Detroit, and Orlando, ahead of Houston. Over in the Northern Division, Fort Wayne's in third behind Cincinnati and Michigan, and ahead of Indy. Over in the Western Conference, Milwaukee ahead of Chicago, Minnesota, Peoria, and KC. And in the Southwest, Vegas with a big lead over Utah, then LA, San Fran, and Phoenix. Joseph A. Banks with two locations, Dunwoody and Buckhead. Fine clothing with enduring quality. That's Joseph A. Banks.
I got to get the youngsters involved in the game early.
Davidson will take the draw. This is the Knights' fourth power play. They are 1 for 3. Came in at 15%. And the Komets have it, and McBain sends it along for Murphy, trying to beat Warenka. Murphy regains and drops it back. And the early segment of time on the power play belongs to the Fort Wayne Komets. 2-2 hockey game. Knights starting it out left to right. On it is Plavsic trying to work it through for Drolia. Didn't connect. Drolia back to get it. Saucers one over to Warenka. He lost it to Evans. Evans in. One man to beat. Plavsic, but Plavsic taps it along, and back on it is Guy Dupuis. He gave it away, and Drolia trying to send it in for the Knights. Knights have had one shot the entire period. Warenka. Now for Davidson. Turning. And it ricochets to Plavsic. He's in the slot. Wrist shot saved by Blue, and he holds for the face-off with Christian Campo barreling in on John Blue.
The head coach of the Fort Wayne Komets is Dave Farish, a former second-round draft choice, 24th overall in 1976 by the New York Rangers. The Rangers' first pick in that draft, interestingly enough, was Don Murdoch, who now is with the parent team of the Atlanta Knights, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Very good, steady defenseman, had a real nice NHL career, and as you were telling me earlier, started a playing assistant coaching type thing when he was with the Hershey Bears and your era in Hershey, and really has developed to a nice solid coach. He's been in the New York Islanders organization for a while, and I looked at the draft of some of the players in that draft. The last pick of the second round was Barry Melrose by the Montreal Canadiens. Some great names in that draft.
Knights win the draw, and Toms has it right boards. Shovels it back along, and Scott is there. Shot from the right point. Ricocheted wide as Savage was camped in front. Puck is flipped along. Scott kept it in right point. Good job. Puck behind the net. Blue taps it along for Wortman. He couldn't clear. Scott again a drive, and a save by Blue, and this time he holds. And we'll have another face-off.
When John Blue looks on his in the plane tomorrow morning and looks next to him, he's probably going to see Savage sitting next to him, because Savage has been sitting on top of him all night. And John Blue got one a little lower than he probably wanted. Puck comes back to the point. Hey, Blair Scott, big play as he keeps it down low, makes the safe play. Fort Wayne just has a tough time getting it out. They don't use the glass, they use the boards again, and Scott cranked one right into the...
Well, let's just say they call them protective cups. They don't call them absolutely impenetrable cups.
If he was California, he just got hit just south of San Diego.
Yes, he did. Workman.
I just thought of something, but I'll leave it alone.
Sends it along. Hey, every goaltender's been there. Wilkinson.
I had a cup broken during my college career. Wasn't happy. You can imagine.
Back comes Blair Scott. Nice power play winding down. It's 2-2. Second period. Blue out of the net. And there's where a goalie can help himself. He dishes it back out to center. And the Knights power play will expire. Sean Rivers along to Toms. Toms in. Unable to move it around Talk. Knights are now 1 for 4 on the power play. And the puck is cleared along. Blair Scott is there. Stolen by Messier. Left wing looking for Shifranov. Rivers again. Puck bouncing at center. Evans. Eglin back for the Knights. Lost it. Komets are in. Elenick. Slowed down by check of Eglin. And what's the call?
I think your guess is as good as mine, unless there's coincidental penalties coming on Scott and Elenick. In the corner, the two of them got together and a little pushing and shoving and grabbing. Elenick goes down, Scott comes down on him, and they were very slow to get up, but I don't see either player heading towards the box, so I'm a little surprised that, well, actually the box is now open for Atlanta. My guess might be too many men on the ice, because Fletcher is coming in to serve this penalty, and
Atlanta penalty, bench minor, 2 minutes.
That's what it is. So see, Fletcher will serve it once again. Fort Wayne with a chance on the power play.
Their third opportunity. Time of the penalty is 9:23. Tied at 2 here, second period. Knights jumped out to a 2-0 lead on goals by Plavsic and LaPuma. But Fort Wayne, its credit, has come roaring back. 2 goals by Shifranov. On it, left side, Wortman, now Elenick. Left circle, down low. He's got Murphy back to Elenick. Chips it along for Wortman. Back in turn, Elenick. Nice steal, and Plavsic is able to direct it all the way down. Sean Evans starting the rush for Fort Wayne right to left. Puck loose at center. Evans drops it back for Murphy. Now it's Wortman. Komets on the power play. Wortman, left circle. Elenick shot. And Wilkinson made the save and looks behind him, but apparently has it smothered.
Fast signs proudly supports the Atlanta Knights.
That was a lot tougher than it looked, because there were 2 players who each had a blade near the puck, and Wilkinson had to find them. As we look here on the wide angle, watch as the play starts to get in towards here. You got a couple of guys that are coming through out of here. Okay, 2 guys converging, and now the shot comes in. You saw how 2 sticks were right there by the puck down. That's so confusing for a goaltender. You don't know who's going to shoot, and you can't figure out if it's a backhand, a forehand, where it might go. There's a lot of black tape. Pat Elenick in there as well, and Wilkinson, you saw how confused that he was in trying to pick up where it was coming from, but the Komets overload the left side.
Face off to the right of Derek Wilkinson. 2-2 hockey game, second period. Komets power play continuing here with 1:10 left on it. As LaPuma digs it up for the Knights. His outlet pass deflected right in front. And Wilkinson had to be quick.
Oops. Chris LaPuma with a little bit of a mental error trying to come up the middle of the ice and almost winds up costing him. LaPuma takes the safe route whenever he can, and every once in a while, though, it just happens to the best of them. LaPuma, good pursuit off the face-off, though. As soon as the puck was won, he was right on it. Then he tries to send it up and winds up, I think, hitting Plavsic in front of the net. When you're shorthanded, you know you can ice the puck. There's no reason why you shouldn't crank one off the glass and out of the zone. It should happen every time.
No time to get fancy. Wortman. Now again, back. He shoots. He scores. Wortman getting the return pass from Evans and cranked one from the top of the slot. And just like that, it's 3-2. Fort Wayne has outscored the Knights 3-0 here in the second, and their second power play goal.
Sean Evans, when he throws the puck, he just put a ribbon on it because it's like setting up a present. Fort Wayne once again wins a face-off. Great setup. Evans right back to Wortman, screen in front of the net, and it slides through. Warenka had his man. It was just a good play. Messier in front. Fort Wayne on the face-off. Good pursuit by Wortman to the top of the circle off the one draw. Gets it to Evans, and then doesn't finish. He peels back off. It's a heads-up play by Wortman to pick up his fifth. He peeled off, walked along the blue line, got the pass back, and cranked it with Mitch Messier standing in front of the net.
It's 3-2 Komets. The Knights have called timeout. That allows us to allow our stations to identify themselves along the Atlanta Knights Hockey Network. Well, the Komets have come back storming here in this second period, and John Parrish Jr. trying to stem the proverbial tide right now.
What he's talking about right here is the fact that they have been outworked in every area this period. Remember, the disparity in shots on goal was at 15-4, end of one period. It's now 18-12, but Fort Wayne has done all the little things that Atlanta seemed to be doing in the first period. So what he's going to say to his team is, hey guys, look, we've gotten beaten to the punch this entire period. You knew they were coming out storming. You've given them a little bit, but the bottom line is, look at the utter domination you had on them early in the game. Let's get back to what we were doing. Let's attack the offensive zone smartly, and let's stay out of the gosh darn penalty box.
It's been two different games. This second period has certainly belonged to Fort Wayne. Thomas now leading it, and the right side shot by Ellen. Save on the tip by Wilkinson. Oh, what a stop by Wilkinson on the hat-trick attempt by Shifronov.
Well, I'll tell you, Derek Wilkinson has done his job this game. He's gotten beaten on some real good shots. Wilkinson had to be strong here. The puck shot in front at a quick tip. That's a set play. As Shifronov goes to the front of the net, he's waiting for that puck to come through the crease. He's got his stick down, and Wilkinson with the blocker is forced to make a very, very strong save. He stayed with it, Dan. It's good concentration by Wilkinson. He knew what was happening.
Wow. Evans, left side. Dishes along for Elenick. Shot wide to the glove side. Elenick again. Bumped by Toms in the corner. Puck loose. Elenick for Murphy. Now Evans. Back it goes. Murphy just shot it through traffic.
They actually tried it again. They tried to get somebody cutting towards the front of the net. Murphy's shot was going through the slot.
And out come the Knights. Savage is in. Sends it to the net. Toms left side. He couldn't get the good shot away. And a penalty coming up here on Fort Wayne. We'll be right back. 3-2 Komets. This is Atlanta Knights hockey.
In the middle of winter, it might be cold outside, but on December 12th, the action will be hot when the Nashville Sports Council brings you the 1995 Nashville Shootout. The first matchup at 6 will heat up when two NAIA powers, Belmont and Lipscomb, battle it out. And then at 8:30, the Vanderbilt Commodores take the court against Tennessee State. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster by calling 615-737-4849. The 95 Nashville Shootout, sponsored by First American, December 12th at Memorial Gymnasium. Don't miss it.
Atlanta Knights Hockey on Sports South is being brought to you by Toyota, maker of quality tough Toyota trucks like the Tacoma and the T100.
Hey Remington, shave this.
The newest Remington Triple Foil, the only shaver with 3 micro screens, now has a 50% greater cutting rate for a close, smooth shave. The Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
Guy in the backwards hat.
Welcome back to Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta. Coming up in the second intermission, we've got a lot going on for you. Of course, scores, highlights, all of that. But we'll also talk to Richard Adler from the Atlanta Knights, the big kahuna, the grand one who's at the top of the chart here. And you guys upstairs, you better be careful, because if you're not nice to me and on the air, I'm going to tell him all the dirt. I'm going to tell him all the dirty laundry. I'm telling you right now.
He knows it already.
Well, there goes the interview.
That's why we love the guy. We can talk to him.
The Grand High Exalted Mystic Ruler. Where's that from?
I don't know. What movie's that?
It's the Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners.
Raccoon Lodge.
Julia trying to step in. Left circle. Has to work it back out high. Knights on the power play for the 5th time. As Dupuis is in the box for Fort Wayne. Out high it goes to Plavsic. Right side it goes to Warinka, the drive, and a save by Blue. On it is Plavsic. Left point, walking it down. And he has to swing it wide. Comes around, looking. Out high, Peterson. Julia was just clocked in front, and he's hurt. Stan Julia was clocked by whom? Brian Straub, maybe?
Julia working hard in front of the net and certainly paying the price. You want to see that. You want your captain involved. And like I said, he's been leading by example on and off the ice in the last few games. And here is he just took one to the chops, and we get a chance on the TV side to take a look at what had happened right in front of the net. Julia just dropped like a house of cards, and he was working it in front. Don Koshoot, the medical trainer of the Atlanta Knights, out to talk with Julia. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him as he's up on all fours now and getting up slowly. Actually, we won't take a look at it. Julia on his way to the bench.
Stan appears to be okay. Hey, fans, seeing the Knights as part of a group is a great way to see pro hockey right here at the Omni. Call the Knights at 404-525-PUCK for information on group discount plans.
Although I just want to extend once again condolences to Don Koshoot and his family. Don's grandmother passed away last week, and he went home to Pennsylvania for the funeral. Now back with the team, back to business. Says it feels good to be back home. He'd been on the road for a week when that had happened. The Knights were in Chicago at the time.
Plavsic will dish it along, but right on the stick of Talk. And with 8 minutes to go in the period, the Komets able to send it back down.
Knights very comfortable in that umbrella setup they have. They used to use a diamond in one, 3 up high, 1 in front, and a rover. Now they're sending 2 to the net hard to crash off the 3 high set.
Huh?
Did you get that?
Man.
Everybody
was
with
that
me on that,
coaching talk or what?
We lost the whole truck.
I got 12,000 fans out there. Say what?
What the heck did he just say?
Plavsic.
We'll explain it to you. Don't worry.
And it dished right back out. Willett chasing. And Willett. That was right out of Fred Chiro's. I read that book.
Did you?
Page 161. Fred Chiro coaching manual. Knights with 20 seconds left on the power play. Eglin in. Rolls it along, but boy, the Komets winning all the individual battles right now. Julia, right side for the shot. Score! It got through, and the Knights have tied it at 3.
Just before that, Fort Wayne really got away with one as Jeff Toms got pulled down on the rush. Stan Julia takes it upon himself, makes it up. Julia with a blast. He beat John Blue to the glove side on Wednesday night with that same type of shot. He's now got points in 12 straight games. Julia just picked it up. He had all the time. He could have had a coffee before he shot, and he cranked it. Now John Blue has to know that shot's coming up high because a defenseman went down in front of him. So Blue's got to know it's coming up. He just didn't position himself very well at the top of the crease, and the shot beats him far side.
So we are tied again at 3.
Julia right now could be the best player in the IHL in the last 12 games. Like I said, points in all 12. He's been real good in every game.
Shafronov would be right up there, though.
Sure would, but look at what Julia has done over the last 12 to 15 games.
In terms of multi-dimensional game, absolutely.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not just offense, it's defense, it's everything.
Forecheck by the Knights, Eglin. Works the left boards. Now the shot across from Fletcher, and it's frozen to the side of the net by John Blue.
John Blue, a former standout at the University of Minnesota, former Olympic goaltender as well. Julia with goals in 8 of his last 10 games. He had a goal and 2 assists the other night. 2 assists against Fort Wayne in the game last week. Multiple point games, and now 7 of his last 8. You want to go back to that diamond and thing? And
wow, with Rover going high, 3 high, 2 high, 1
See, what
wide,
it is,
6 narrow.
It looks like a diamond. You got 3 up top and almost like a little triangle, and you got 1 down in front of the net. That's your diamond, and 1 is a guy that just roams around. The umbrella actually looks like an umbrella. It's 3 up high, and the stem going right down towards the net. 1 right in front and 1 just a little higher by the hash marks. That's the difference between the diamond in 1 and the umbrella.
Gotcha. Now I'm aware of that. Just the way you rattled it off. As the Knights buzz off the draw, and Campbell was stoned by Blue.
The pace of this game, got to be quick.
It's been a nicely tempoed game, but in this period, we've had a lot of stoppages.
Take a look what's going on in front here. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Guys are jabbing away. A little pitchfork there, a little jabbing with the elbow. Just like this, Dan. They get some right under there.
Yeah, you got me. That's 2.
And then with the stick that come down like that, how's that feel? It's like the Selena had a slap shot, right? What's slashing?
Hey, when the camera's on me, you can hit me.
Oh, I can't sneak one in here, huh?
Doesn't do any good. People can't see it.
You can body check like that.
He's out of control, folks. He's out of control. Knights and Komets tied at 3. Puck is sent in by Elena, chased down by Warenka. And finally dished along by Warenka to Campbell, but sent right back in. And Plavsic looking for Toms out the other way. Good, strong, sustained forecheck this entire period by Fort Wayne. And much more up-tempo and aggressive forecheck. Plavsic cuts it across, right wing side. Campo, too far for him, and Evans will dish it for Dupuis. Sends it along for Shafranov. Back to Evans. Evans will lift it in. We have 5.5 to go here. We're in the second period with the Knights and Komets deadlocked 3 apiece. McBain knocks it down. On it is Darren Smith. Toms fights off a check, though, regains and drops it off for Plavsic. Knights are at center. They're into the zone. But it's Straub. Back on it for Fort Wayne.
Adrian Plavsic continues to attack the offensive blue line, carrying the puck. He's doing a good job of it. He just continues to do it. He's got a lot of confidence, and he seems to be getting a lot more time and space.
2-line offside was called on Fort Wayne, and that'll bring it back down into the Atlanta zone with 5:03 to go here, into the Fort Wayne zone, I should say, with 5:03 to go in the second period. There was some records set the other night in the 9-6 Knights win against Fort Wayne. Lee Davidson most points in the game with 7. The most power play goals in the game, 4. Most goals in the game, 9. Those are season highs. Most goals in a game by 2 teams and most goals in a period. So a lot of offense. That's the bottom line. Most power play goals by 2 teams, tied the largest margin of victory and longest home winning streak. So Wednesday was obviously a very prolific night for the Atlanta Knights. Not as prolific tonight. A good, strong first period, but they've been trying to stem the Fort Wayne rush here in the second. 3-3 hockey game.
The public relations staff of the Knights, new one, Artie Goodman, the departing one, Matt Musgrove. I don't think they took their eyes out of the record book all night.
Julia's in for the Knights, stepping it through. Around the net, looking in front. And Peterson couldn't get the shot away. Julia simply ran out of room, but boy, that's some pretty maneuvering by Stan Julia. Back comes Atlanta. Blair Scott chipping it in, left corner. Puck is shipped around by Blue, picked up by Julia. He's bumped, and right in your face, bumped again by Stas. Julia continues to work it, tries to center. Peterson at the side, but it's frozen, and we'll be right back. Tied at 3, 4:11 to go. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
The Mercedes E-Class, the Acura Legend, the the BMW 5 Series, the Lexus LS 400, the Infiniti Q45. Our luxury performance sedan outsold each of them in its first model year. Aurora by Oldsmobile. Now the imports are the ones with some catching up to do. It's your money.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are the kind of people who like to work on their cars themselves. That way they save money and they know the work's done right. Of course, when they come to AutoZone, they know they're going to find the right part for the right price. But sometimes what they're looking for is just a little advice. And that's okay because we don't put a price tag on it. You see, at AutoZone, we take pride in taking care of our customers. And we've learned that when you treat folks right, they keep coming back.
Tied at 3, a little pushing and shoving there at the stoppage, but nothing further. We do have some penalties called, but nothing really broke out.
You can hear the referee in the background a little bit calling out the calls. Julie getting a high stick, and Davidson's getting a rough out of this. Rolacek came in after Julia went back at Stas. Stas threw an elbow into the face of Julia right behind the net. Stas and Julia were working in the corners, and when Julia went towards the front of the net, Stas got him, and when he retaliated, Rolacek right there to step in and defend his teammate. Mitch Messier has made his way to the penalty box as well for Fort Wayne. I don't believe there'll be any manpower differential. And John Parrish Jr. is a little upset with the way things have gone this game, but like I say, pretty often, to his credit, he keeps a very positive bench, and the players respond. Even when things are slipping away from him, they respond to his positive aspect.
Number 24, Brian Straub, 2 minutes for roughing. Atlanta penalties, number 20, Stan Julia, 2 minutes.
Julia went for high sticking, and Lee Davidson for roughing. I believe it was as the Fort Wayne Komets are in. Rolacek right circle, throws it in front, shot wide by Jelinek. Jelinek on the off wing had the open net and just missed. Rolacek now sends it along, picked up by Eglund, and he'll circle in his own zone and start it out for Atlanta. Alan Eglund couldn't step it through, and Evans sends it back too far for Nicolak. Puck loose in the Atlanta zone and dished ahead. Fletcher trying to clear it. It's at center ice, and Dupuis has it for Fort Wayne. 3:15 to go in the second. Tied at 3. Wawrinka. The Knights' shot differential now is a +10 at 23-13. Rolacek turning, neutral zone and dishing in. Wilkinson drops it off for LaPuma. Bouncing puck all the way through, and this will be an icing call as Talk is back to touch up.
Fast time for a coffee break. Folgers Coffee likes it.
On the Knights' last rush down the, or rather the Komets' last rush down the ice, they got a chance on the right side of the net. They've jumped some good scoring chances in front of us on the TV side. You look at the young defenseman Chris Talk. Seemed like a lot of open people in front of Derek Wilkinson.
We'll be coming at you again with these Atlanta Knights on a Friday night. Doubleheader, actually, Friday night and Saturday afternoon next weekend. The Indianapolis Ice right here from the Omni on Sports Sound. Rivers steals in his own zone and tries to outlet for Savage, but it's kept in by Evans. Plavsic now finds Savage, and Reggie's out for Christian Campo. Left wing pass for Sean Rivers. Couldn't avoid the check of Dupuis, and puck is back, neutral zone. Plavsic lifting it back in with 2:20 to go in the second period. Tie hockey game at 3. Knights steal. The centering attempt is blocked off and cleared, and Plavsic shoots it back in for the Knights.
I believe on that weekend our production team of Bill Stone, Bill Bilodeau will be here Saturday morning at 5:00 a.m. to get us ready for that game.
Yeah, it'll be a quick turnaround, but they've got the Madden Cruiser in, so they'll be comfortable. Puck is cleared ahead by Evans. Neutral zone. Rivers steers it back, and the Knights try to muster a rush here, but Campo cannot find Toms. Good play by Evans to collect and clear for Fort Wayne.
Sean Rivers is driving Pat Elenick absolutely bananas this game. Elenick has gone at him on a couple of occasions.
Campo lifting it along. Now it rolls to Rivers, and he sends a moonshot into the offensive zone. That's a two-line pass called on Atlanta. Good lead pass by Rivers, but across two lines with 1:22 to go here in this second period.
Sean Rivers was the last Atlanta Knight to touch the puck in Game 6 of the '94 Turner Cup Finals when the Knights beat Fort Wayne in Game 6 and won the Cup. Rivers with 6 assists in 6 games coming into tonight's action since his return to Atlanta, and has talked about how much he feels comfortable being back here.
He liked it here in 92, 93, 93, 94, and fans liked him. He's a good player, good mobile defenseman. Knights were lacking in that department. Now they are among the league leaders, I think, in mobility and stick handling ability among the back line core.
See, we've seen the teams like Utah, and a team like Utah could just drill. Las Vegas is another team. I mean, these guys can just bring it from the back line. Now Atlanta can start to compete with the big boys in that respect.
Puck loose at center with a minute left in the period. Shoveled along and picked up by Straub, who's in for Fort Wayne. Played it in the middle for McBain. Down low, Willett. Trying to center, but blocked off and dumped around, but not out. Stops. Is hammered. And a penalty coming up here. Apparently on Stan Julia.
You know, it's funny, too, if you're going to throw a controversial shot, about the worst place you can do it is in front of the opposing team's bench. And when that happened, the entire bench rose up. The other night, Darren Smith nailed Blair Scott. Very similar. Julia stepped into Sergei Stas and gets the penalty. You're right, Dan. Earlier in the game, something happened just like that. And these are the things that they're trying to get out of the game. So Julia takes really a very, very undisciplined penalty at a bad time. Offensive zone draw for Fort Wayne. And Dan, we saw this at the end of the second period Wednesday night. Bad penalty into the period. Fort Wayne had 40 seconds to do something and only taken 15, and they scored right at the end of the second period.
38 seconds left here. The penalty comes at 19:22. Boarding the call on Stan Julia. And the Komets have the power play as Mark Kadori will get set to drop the puck between Murphy and Davidson.
I have to tell you, an impressive aspect of your broadcast arsenal is the ability to tell who the linesmen are. Without identification, I have no idea.
I only know them, that's all. I happen to know these guys.
Oh, is that what it is?
Without the numbers and the names on the back, it's a little bit more difficult.
So you're going to fake it on the road is what you're telling me?
Sure. The name Smith, ring a bell?
You're right.
Up the right side, Elenick dishes across. Now Chiffron up, across, and wow, he had Murphy breaking in alone. Knights regain, and the puck is clear.
I'll tell you, we got a great third period coming. If it
Yes,
holds
we
up the way
do.
the first two have.
What are you looking at?
This thing getting physical as Davidson regaining for the Knights, played it out, and that should do it for the period. We are tied at 3 after 2, and we'll come back with highlights and more in the intermission after this timeout. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
Heineken Hockey Night. Welcome back to Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta. Greg Masters with you in the Omni, and I'm with Nancy Campo. Nancy, now your husband just got the assist on the goal that put us ahead, but you've got more important things tonight. Who is this?
It's Megan.
And is she going to be a little hockey person?
I don't know.
She likes the microphone. What's it like watching your husband out there, especially when he does something like get the assist on what could be the winning goal?
It's good. When I have a minute to watch it, it's good.
All right, we're going to send it back up to Dan. I'm going to have to feed this baby if I stay here much longer. Dan?
Heaven forbid you should share some of that food you've been eating. On it for the Komets is McBain. Ahead it goes. Smith, left wing side. Smith rolled it wide. I think I'm in trouble with Masters. Puck is cleared all the way down, and this should be an icing called on Atlanta. It's 4-3 Knights lead. 9:33, 9:32 now to go in the third period. And it's a good one, as it usually is between these two clubs. They had a real good one a couple of Wednesdays ago. The Knights winning in Fort Wayne. Then this past Wednesday, the Knights coming back to win it 9-6. Youngsters enjoying it tonight. Friday night at the Omni. Dad's not in the mood to be slapped anymore, though.
There's a kid bucking to be a broadcaster. That's a good pair of eyes, too.
Absolutely. We have seen the future, and it is them, or it is they. Savage in left side. Tom shot, and Bloom makes the pad save and smothers.
See, that's not exactly how it's supposed to work if you're the goaltender. And a shot like that down low, you're hoping to knock it to the corner with your stick or stop it with your stick and hold on to it. It's a good rush. It's a 2-on-2, becomes a 2-on-3. Toms, he doesn't have anything to do. He just fires it at the net, and he almost snuck it past John Blue. See how the puck hit John Blue almost on the right foot as Blue is going down. He smothered it with the pad instead of getting it cleanly with the stick. Looks like he was a little slow to react.
Sean Evans outlets looking for the home run, but he doesn't connect with Eleanor. Derek Wilkinson plays it for Adrian Plavsic. And the Knights with a nice transition. Campbell, right wing side for Savage. Avoids the check. Savage is in. Swings it around. Campbell has Savage alone. Couldn't get it there. Plavsic pinches. Trying to move it in front. Hit the side of the net. Or Blue might have gotten a piece of it with a blocker, and the outlet pass too far for Elenek again. Warenka is there for the Knights. Shovels one along for Toms. Back it goes to Wortman. Fort Wayne back on it. Knights by a goal, and Talk will pick it up deep in his own end for the Fort Wayne Komets. Spring trying to keep it in. Rivers does. Shovels it along for Quenneville. Down the middle, he had Eglin. And his tip was stopped by Blue and cleared by the Komets. Out is Scott ahead to Rivers. He tips it in for Atlanta. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Knights lead 4-3. Rolacek. Left side. Yashin trying to step in. Dumped by Scott. Puck out high. Wortman the drive and a save. Rebound. Score. And Rolacek with a nice play. He had plenty of time in the open net behind Wilkinson. And we are deadlocked at 4.
Sean Evans, or rather Sean Rivers, having a tough night. Wilkinson came out to make this save. 32. Thinking that everything was tied up behind him. Wilkinson, look how high up he is. Except Rolacek sneaks in from behind. That's Rivers' man. He's got to cover that man, which allows Wilkinson to charge as effectively as he did. I thought Wilkinson made a great play because Mitch Messier was in front of the net, and Wilkinson came all the way out to prevent Messier from any kind of tip of it. If you get right up on the screen, right up on the tip, if he deflects it, the puck's got nowhere to go. Nice play by Wilkinson. Good thought process. Rolacek snuck in from behind, and that's where you got to have as a defenseman your head on a swivel to turn around and see anybody coming in behind you. That's got to be the defenseman's man.
Jeff Rolacek. Traded from Chicago to Fort Wayne last year. Ties it up at 4. 7:40 to go in the third.
Big goal by Rolacek here in this hockey game, though probably not as big as the one he scored in overtime to win the Calder Cup for Springfield.
Probably not. Willett turns and throws it in for the Komets.
You remember that goal, right?
Yes, I do.
Overtime, Game 6, Springfield against Rochester in Springfield. He was just standing in front of the net. Wayne McBean hit it with a perfect pass.
Davidson is in. Right side, shovel shot. Saved by Blue. Rebound by Davidson, just wide. He had a tough angle and just missed. And the puck cleared. On it is LaPuma. Flips one in. Blue sets it up behind the net. Now around it goes to Shifranov. His outlet pass too far, and it'll be picked up by Rivers back in his own zone. Turning and dishing for Tom. Ahead to Savage. His shot the post. Tom's regaining. Knights are in again. Cranks one up, and up it goes, way up into the upper deck. We'll be back tied at 4. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
The Mercedes E-Class, the Acura Legend, the BMW 5 Series, the Lexus LS400, the Infiniti Q45. Our luxury performance sedan outsold each of them in its first model year. Aurora by Oldsmobile. Now the imports are the ones with some catching up to do. It's your money.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
There's our man Dan with the camera. Great job of the crew tonight getting all the shots we've needed. Our director is Bill Bilodeau. Our producer is Bill Stone. And we appreciate all our crew. Our crew chief is Melinda. Our stagehand is Charlie. And we're delighted to work with him. Longmire's on hand tonight as well. And the puck is cleared out. Neutral zone. Murphy turns back for the Komets. Plays it along, and Evans lost it to the forecheck of Savage. Savage trying to circle, but then dumped by Evans. Reggie back up on it. Campo's there. Good forechecking work by this line. And Elenick finally outlets for Fort Wayne. To Evans, who chips it along. Rivers is back for the Knights with just under 6 to go. Tied at 3. Third period action. Toms working his way through and in. Nice maneuver there. Taps it down low for Campo. Left wing boards. Campo works it, and Talk regains and plays for Dupuis.
Campo had the right idea. He wanted to cycle it down low. Just, he really didn't have anybody to do it. Corey Spring had a tough time running the gamut, and Campo had to cycle it down to an empty corner.
Battle for it inside the Atlanta zone. Now it's sent in from center by Wortman. Warenka back to get it for the Knights. Plavsic cuts away from Yashin. Taps it along, no icing. Just barely gaining the red line. Corey Spring with a huge hit on Dupuis. Plavsic left side shot. Check that, that was on Talk. And we have an injured Komet. And the Knights are livid that play was stopped. The Komets livid that penalty wasn't called. And we'll be right back. Just under 5 left in the third. Tied at 4. This is Atlanta Knights hockey.
Nobody else has it. Only Headline News has the sports ticker. Continuously updated scores from the college hoops to the pros, even while the games are in progress. Headline News sports ticker. This basketball season, you'll always know the score.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Beantown will be scorching as Atlanta and Boston look to nail the nylon and blister the baskets inside. Hawks versus Celtics. Right after the Dodge warm-up show live Sunday night on Sports South.
Well, that's what happens when you get crushed into the boards by a 220-pounder. Chris Talk being led off the ice by the trainer, Joe Frankie. Here's another look at the hit.
Oh, baby. Corey Spring finishes Talk. Talk went down low to try to brace himself, and Corey Spring, who has finished everything on his plate tonight, absolutely drilled Chris Talk.
Our Oldsmobile player of the game tonight in this one is the Atlanta Knights captain Stan Drulia with a goal and an assist, extending his game-scoring streak to 12. Congratulations to our Oldsmobile player of the game, Stan Drulia.
Don't miss the Knights in action this coming Wednesday, December 13th against the Houston.
Stan Drulia talking things over with Lee Davidson, who has certainly given him some help and some depth up front. Drulia scored a goal in 8 of his last 10 games. Now he's 19 on the year. Face off of the Knights' right circle. 4:58 to go in regulation. We are tied at 4. Eglin's out there with Spring and Quenneville. Plavsic and Warenkin. Let's keep an eye out for some retaliation on Corey Spring. Although in a 4-4 game, you certainly don't want to incur a penalty here. So that may have to wait. Quenneville steals! And he nearly flicked one by Blue. Nearly disastrous giveaway there by Straub as Quenneville missed the net. Quenneville again. Circles. Looking. Stepping in. Shooting right on, and a save by Blue.
Corey Spring made this whole play happen with another big hit on the boards. He worked it free, got it low to Quenneville, and Quenneville was off to the races. Came up and through the face-off circle and gets the shot on John Blue. They've shot high on John Blue, trying to get some rebounds off him. Trying to keep that puck lower, you probably do a better job. Quenneville is off to the races. Alan Eglin gets involved in front. Quenneville buys himself some time and space with his speed, throws it in front, and Alan Eglin right in on Blue, tries to step out of the way, and I think he needs John Blue in the exchange in front of the net accidentally. Alan Eglin, feisty player, as you can see by the penalty minutes he's racked up this season. He's had 71.
He's got the most minors in the league coming in. 33 minor penalties called on him coming into this game.
That would be for how many penalty minutes?
66.
Yeah, you're right on it, huh?
With one major.
Tried to sneak one by.
Unbelievable.
Right on top of it.
2 times 3 is 6. Yeah, I'm right.
I know you wouldn't ask me that because that would have taken me some time.
Yes.
Too many shots in the head, I guess.
Without the mask. You should have gone to the mask earlier in your career. Spring with another hit at center.
And career is a very loose word, too.
And then he takes a little face full of glove from Evans. Might send it in.
Oh, this one's getting real chippy now.
Game tied at 4, and Warenka shoots it in for Atlanta. Just over 4 left here in the third.
Let's watch how many shifts Drulia's line winds up with in the last 4 minutes. My guess is at least 3.
Puck is dished along. Rolled around Peterson. Starting the rush for the Knights. Ahead it goes. Quenneville. Check that as Davidson. Dumping it in. Workman back to get it. Peterson was dumped. Out comes Willett for Fort Wayne. Shovels it in right side. Chris LaPuma couldn't clear. Workman kept it in. A shot deflects up over the glass with 3.5 to go exactly here in this third period.
Chris LaPuma on that last play, waited until the puck was behind him, faded backwards while keeping his eye on the attacker, then turned, pivoted, and went for the puck. Any young defenseman watching the game, not a bad idea to learn from that kind of move. As the play's coming towards you, keep your eye on the puck carrier even after it goes behind you. When you turn around, the goaltender will set it for you. He'll tell you where it is. Then you can go back and get it with some speed.
4-4 hockey game. And the puck is picked up by Stas. Drills it in. Controlled left side. Shot by Willett. Saved by Wilkinson and Sean Rivers. Now for LaPuma. In turn it goes to Peterson. He backhands it into the zone.
Lots of communication by Atlanta on that shift. You heard LaPuma calling for the puck from Rivers. You heard Campo yelling to Peterson to dump it. That's what John Parrish Jr. wants. He wants a lot of communication on the ice, and he got it.
Icing called on the Komets. Fort Wayne is 4-2 on the shootout this year. The Knights are 1-2.
And how about Mitch Messier of Fort Wayne is 6 for 6. in shootouts this season. 6 for 6.
Speaking of 6 for 6, we just took a look at the Fort Wayne bench. Dave Farish, Fort Wayne coach, has called for stick measurements 6 times this year and has seen his team go on the power play 6 times.
I almost got myself into trouble with the call on Wednesday night. Thought I was accusing him of having sticks measured in the home locker room. Obviously, that's not the case.
No, he's just got a great eye for it. Actually does have 20/10 vision.
He must have one heck of a curve on his stick, too.
So that looks alarmingly familiar. On it for the Knights is Warenka, plays it out to center. Dupuis backhands it in.
We talked about him a little earlier. He had a real good career with some real bad Ranger teams, I'll tell you.
Elenick on it for Fort Wayne, looking down low for Murphy. He and Warenka battle, and Warenka lost the helmet, and the puck is frozen there with 2:19 to go here in the third. We've got a good one going, tied at 4.
And this is hockey. I mean, think about what you've had here. You've had some big hits, some absolutely bone-jarring hits on the boards, open ice. You've had some big saves. You've had great goals. This is everything that you'd want for in a hockey game. Pat Elenick tries to work it down low. Warenka and Murphy battling, and the play died right there.
Corey Spring has thrown the biggest hits all night.
Oh, he sure has. He's been all over the ice, hasn't he?
Face off in the right offensive circle for Fort Wayne. Willett taking the draw against Davidson. Komets win it. Wrist shot by Wertman. Blocker stopped by Wilkinson. Julia turns it back deep in the zone. Plays it for LaPuma. And the Knights will move it out right to left. LaPuma lifting it out. Neutral zone. Peterson trying to step it down. Walked off, and Smith clears it out center. On it is Rivers. Turns away from traffic, then gave it away to Straub. Ahead it goes to McBain. He'll shoot it in. Wilkinson drops it around for Julia. Puck loose at center. Straub right back on it to send it in with 1:35 to go. Rivers now kept in by McBain. Little shovel shot and a save by Wilkinson. That puck hit a spot on the board and made it bounce in a way that it eluded Davidson, and that created the chance for the Komets.
Dan, the partitions here and the boards on that side of the ice seem to have some strange bounces. That's where the player's entrance for the visiting team is, and you get the doors on the ice. It sometimes doesn't link up very cleanly. If you take a look at it from the side of the ice that we're on, and now the referee is over there checking it out as well, you can see that the door doesn't exactly link up as low to the ice as the dasher boards do to the ice, and that'll always cause a strange bounce if you hit it just the right way.
Tied at 4, waning moments of regulation. And on it is Messier. Out high it goes to Evans, a shot! Tipped wide to the right wing side, and Rolacek sends it down low. Good pressure here by the Komets. Puck kicked free. Messier chases. Warenka able to dump out for Atlanta. And now it's picked up by Plavsic. He tried to send Savage away. Good steal by Dupuis. Now Messier's in for the shot. Tipped on a good defensive play by Warenka, and all the way up and over it goes. And a nice little souvenir gathered in there by that fan. Slotney 5, absolutely.
We talked about Sean Evans a little bit earlier, and I know we've talked about him through the game. Interesting story about Evans. He's on the ice now and probably will be for the last minute. When Evans was with the Islanders, at one point during the game, he came in through the zone. He must have fed it through 9 players, hit Pat LaFontaine right in the wheelhouse, and LaFontaine scores on the one-timer. LaFontaine says, I don't think there are 3 guys in the world who could have made that pass. Right in the wheelhouse. Evans back at the point, waiting for the puck. Big hit down low, and the pressure all over.
Sean Evans can dish it nicely.
It's a heck of a compliment from a world-class play. He said 3 players in the world could get him that puck.
Did he name the 3?
I didn't press it. I was stunned by the remark.
LaPuma. Now it goes to Davidson. Trying to step it through, couldn't do it. It swept back out. Neutral zone. We're down to 38 seconds left in regulation. And Fort Wayne is in. Elenick, left side, stepping it in. Julia dives across. Puck rolls free to Julia, and he'll lift it out of danger as the Komets are putting on some pressure here. Evans again. Rivers. Now it goes to LaPuma. And he'll lift it back out center ice. And it appears as though we may be headed. Let's see. Will it? Plays it left side. Shot wide. And we are headed for the shootout. We'll take a 60-second break and be back. Tied after 3. Heading for the shootout on Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.
Hey guys, what do they call this? Bud ice? It's ice brewed. No, it's a bottle looks like ice. Bottle does look like ice. It's ice brewed, just the manhead. The bottle is jagged and it looks like ice. Ice brewed. Jagged.
Hey, you guys! Take it outside.
Okay, coach.
Bud Ice, the official beer of the Hanson brothers.
Stupid machine took my quarter.
Why do more people go Krogering than to any other supermarket in Atlanta? Well, for the same reason they prefer wearing jeans. It just feels so much more comfortable.
For goodness sake.
Well, the Komets and Knights are heading to the shootout. And in their shootout so far, the Komets are 4-2 this year, as we are tied in regulation after 3. The Knights, Jeff Tom scoring in that third period, but he was answered as the Komets were able to tie it up on the goal by Jeff Rolacek. The leading scorers in shootouts, Mitch Messier has 6 shootout goals. Guy Dupuis has 3 for Fort Wayne. Darren Smith has 2. Several others have 1.
And for Atlanta, Stan Drulia 1 for 2. Dougie Baralt, since departed, 0 for 2. Reggie Savage, 1 for 2. Jeff Toms, 1 for 3, or rather 2 for 3. Mark Gregg, not in the lineup tonight, 1 for 1. Christian Campo, 1 for 3. Jason Ruff, not in the lineup tonight, 1 for 3. Brent Peterson is 0 for 1.
Chris LaPuma had something to say to referee Greg Kimmerly. Not sure exactly what was going on there, but Puma now glancing back at the referee.
Now, if I'm Fort Wayne coming in at Derek Wilkinson, I'm trying to see if I can get Wilkinson to fight the first fake, because he's shown a tendency to do that a little bit through the course of the season. Maybe going backhand to forehand if you can. Wilkinson likes to get a guy to go to the backhand so he can snag him. So let's see how Fort Wayne approaches this.
Here's Messier, 6 for 6 on the season in shootouts. It's a best of 5. Each team gets 5 rounds, and here we go. Messier. Saved by Wilkinson.
And you saw Messier trying to get him to bite the first fake. Backhand to forehand. Wilkinson read it, though. He was ready for it, and he makes a big stop. Now, if I'm shooting on John Blue, I'm just trying to keep it low. Unless Julia, who's beat him twice up high, might do that. But I might go 5-hole. Blue's got the slow feet. I might go 5-hole on him, but Julia, watch to see if he goes up high.
Julia, a right-handed shot. Hits the post. He went high, and he hit the goal post. And we're tied at 0 after 1 round.
All right, now does Rolacek throw another wrinkle in here? Remember, you can't do too much deking with bad ice in the net.
Here comes Rolacek. Stepping in, shoots, and a save by Wilkinson. Keep in mind, each team has already earned a point. The winner of the shootout picks up the extra point in the standings. The Knights trying to make it 3 wins in a row here at home.
These are the tough guys with the long reach on a breakaway.
Jeff Toms takes it slow, has that big long reach, and he fakes, he shoots, and he misses the net. Shoveled it wide. We're tied at 0 after 2.
Had the right idea. Both times, the Knights players tried to get John Blue to move. Drulia had him beat. Tom's looked like he did a pretty good job of it also.
Here's Helena. Shoots and a save by Wilkinson, then it rolled wide.
Surprising by Ellenuk. He's got more tricks than Houdini. I'm surprised he didn't at least give a little bit of a head fake. But keep in mind, like I said, Dan, when the ice is bad like this at the end of a period in front of the net, you've got to be careful because you can't use too much finesse.
Here's Lee Davidson. Cranks one, fakes it, shoots, and a save, and a beauty by Blue. And Blue may have hurt himself on that save.
He didn't fool anybody. John Blue stayed right with him. When Davidson wound up, he looked like he wasn't going to follow through because he took just a split second with the stick in the air, and I think that gave Blue enough time to read it.
Still 0. Here's Dupuis. Big defenseman, fakes, shoots. And a save by Wilkinson. Yes, it's a save.
Oh, the Fort Wayne bench is going to go nuts. Because Wilkinson, when he got up, made sure he pulled his body out of the net. Actually, they're pretty calm about it. Christian Campo, 1 for 3.
Here's Campo trying to put the Knights ahead. Saved by Blue.
He went 5-hole, though, and you look at the way the Knights have gone. Drulia tried to go up high where he's been successful. Campo tries the 5-hole trick where he's worked.
Here's Willett. Stepping it in, shooting, and up over the net.
0 for 9. Good job by the goalies, boys. Good work, fellas. 0 for 9. Goalies, I think, have the advantage in the shootout.
Here's Reggie Savage, and he can win it with this shot.
John Savage in Montreal, set your VHS.
Here comes Reggie. Chance to win. The crowd into it on their feet. The shot, and he shot it wide.
He had him too, and the puck bounced in front of the net. When he got Blue to go down early with a quick little wrist fake, but the puck seemed to hit something on the ice and bounce on him. And I think Reggie was too concerned with getting the puck back on his stick to get off the good shot.
Here's Darren Smith. Out comes Wilkinson, the wrister. Save by Derek Wilkinson.
I love it, Dan. I love watching goalies make saves on penalty shots. It just goes to show that they are the guys who get it done.
Eglin. Again, the Knights with a chance to win. Eglin steps it in. He shoots it high as he tried to drill it by John Blue.
Well, you might as well. They've tried everything else.
Sudden death overtime, but even if Fort Wayne scores, the Knights will get a chance. They will complete each round. Yashin, the rookie, fakes, shoots, and scores.
See, Wilkinson here gave him the idea of what he was doing. He had the stick out too soon to poke check, and that let Yashin know that Wilkinson's stick side was dead.
Knights need this goal by Plavsic to tie. Adrian Plavsic stepping in and shooting, and it's over. Fort Wayne has beaten the Knights in a shootout by the score of 5-4. The Komets with the win, and we will be back to the Omni after this timeout. Komets with a big victory. This is Heineken Hockey Night in Atlanta.